What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. We're going to talk about the Soma Prime finally. I know, 16.3.2 here. It came out in 15.7. It's been a pretty long time since it's been out, and I never really talked about it. At the time that it came out, I got it. I didn't really want to focus on it or play it. I was enjoying some of the other weapons. And you know how I am. I kind of go back and forth on different things and whatnot. So now I'm back on this one for a little while, and then we'll move on to a couple others that I've got in my inventory that I've been working on. Some people left comments about wanting to see. So we'll talk about those. But this one, of course, is Soma Prime version of the actual Soma rifle. It is a Mastery Rank 6 weapon. In terms of the differences, it's basically got a greater magazine size, greater ammo reserves, and a slight increase on the physical damage and status chance. Of course, we know it's got a high fire rate. The wind-up time is actually quite short at only like 5 bullets to wind up. A high critical chance, highest critical multiplier next to, I think, just the actual Soma itself. There's nothing else that has this high of a critical multiplier, if I am correct. Pretty accurate, actually. Surprisingly really accurate. Increased magazine ammo, like I said, it actually even comes with the 2V polarity, so it kind of takes down on you actually needing to put a lot of former into it. And of course, it all depends upon how you want to play the weapon and how you want to set it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how I set it up and how I'm running it. Again, this is just the way I play it, so you can get some ideas off of it. You don't necessarily have to play it this way. But let's go ahead and get right into that build. Alright, so this is what we're looking at right here on the Soma Prime. I've got 2 Forma in it. In addition to the 2 Vs that are there, I added 2 more V slots. This is my basic everyday, if you're going to run it, type of setup. But there are some changes we can do to even enhance this, depending upon your playstyle, of course. But what you're looking at here is a basically 90% critical chance with an 8.4 times multiplier, which is important when you're talking about these lower damage numbers here. But the way this thing shoots off, this is actually going to make this thing a beautiful, beautiful thing, of course. I lower the fire rate a little bit, and I got a 25% status chance, so 1 every 4 bullets is going to stat as well from either impact, puncture, or slash. So it's just overall, I mean, it's a beastly weapon. But what we're looking at, basically, how I've got it on the main. So we got Serration maxed out. We got Split Chamber here for the multi-shot, which also increases our status chance a bit. We've got Shred for fire rate increase and punch through. I've got Point Strike for critical chance. I've actually got critical delay in here for additional critical chance while lowering my fire rate, which I'm actually happy to lower my fire rate a little bit. That doesn't bother me. I'd rather have that higher critical chance. But that's just personal preference. Then we're going to run Vital Sense and Hammer Shot to get our 160% in terms of critical damage, right? No, 180%, I'm sorry, in terms of critical damage increase, and a little more status chance here, and then a rifle mutation. You got to have the rifle mutation mod on here. And so that's the way I am running this. Now, a couple of things, and this is purely just some thoughts. I have run it this way a few times, and this is, again, this is only going to be depending upon how you want to play. If you want to add some elements, you could say add the wildfire in here. You're going to drop your critical multiplier just a little bit, but you get that increased magazine size, which I'll tell you what, that 240 magazine is pretty freaking awesome. And then, of course, you get the heat and the heat proc, which is a pretty nice thing to have as well. Now, of course, if you don't want to do that, but you still, let's say you want to have something in there, a couple other things you could do here is you could go ahead and throw in a element here. So I'm using a dual stat, so I've got thermite rounds. You guys know heat is one of my favorite to run. So now I'm bringing my status up to a 28%, and I still got my heat proc in here and my heat, but a 28% is going to be just that much more nicer. And you're losing some of this critical multiplier though, but again, it's just all in how you want to play it. However, that leaves you room to upgrade your ammo mutation mod. See, so there's a couple little things, and if you don't like this and you want to run, let's say you want to run freeze, you could do that too. It's a quick swap. That's basically the way I set it up, so I can swap things around based off of my taste at the time that I want to do something. But 9 times out of 10, you are going to see it run just like this. So, comments, questions below. and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching as always. We'll see you soon.